Welcome back to Yorion's Journal. Welcome back to Yorion's Journal. We're hopping into our second Duskmourn draft on the alt account. I have played a few drafts on my main account, and we're hoping for a good rare. However, we did not get one at all in this pack. I did some drafts on my main account, but this is the second draft on the alt account. If you haven't seen the first one, we drafted a cool blue-black Eerie deck in the first time around, and now we're hopping back in, and we have two pretty obvious options between Optimistic Scavenger and Brood Spinner. Brood Spinner's for the black-green mid-range control-ish Delirium deck. It surveils 2, and then later in the game makes some insects that can fly. And then Optimistic Scavenger is a 1-drop that has Eerie. Whenever an enchantment enters, you put a 1/1 counter on a creature. We're just going to take the mono-colored card, I think, here. It's also really powerful and just ends up working well in like a blue-white aggro tempo style deck. So let's take the Optimistic Scavenger. Ooh, and we follow it up with Enduring Innocence. Don't know why you would pass this. Maybe there was a second rare in the pack. Enduring Innocence is a 2/1 rare lifelink creature for 3 mana. Whenever one or more creatures you control with power 2 or less enter, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. When it dies, it will return to the battlefield as an enchantment. This card, like, works great with our Optimistic Scavenger. It's an enchantment. It triggers off of the Scavenger coming into play. It'll trigger the Optimistic Scavenger again when it dies and returns as an enchantment. This card goes great with our first pick. We have Fear of Immobility maybe on the wheel, or Friendly Ghost on the wheel, or even a Tunnel Surveyor, although Tunnel Surveyor probably won't wheel. And then in terms of other good cards, we have Oblivious Bookworm. This is basically a 2/3 that loots every single turn, including the turn you play it. And then also, if you are doing the Manifest Dread thing, you're actually just drawing a card instead of looting. But we're definitely taking Enduring Innocence. Okay, now in our next pack, we have an Acrobatic Cheerleader to stay in white. Or we have Fear of Isolation, which goes well in the blue-white Eerie deck. And so I think I'm going to take the Fear of Isolation. We don't have to play it, but it works with Innocence and Scavenger really well. So yeah, it just works a little bit better than the Acrobatic Flyer with what we currently have going on. Next up, we have a really strange rare. This is a Rooms Matters rare where you can win the game if you have 8 or more rooms. If you control 8 or more rooms. However, I don't think that's what we're looking at. I think we're looking at this Seize from Slumber. Just a good removal spell when it's destroying a tapped creature, and then otherwise an overcosted removal spell when you're destroying any creature. But it can destroy anything, and it can do it at instant speed. Yeah, I'm going to take Seize from Slumber. It also goes well with our white plan, and we cut white from the person that we're passing to. However, it does look like we're getting cut a bit on white. So if we're getting cut a bit on white here, which is a little strange because they didn't take a mythic, we have Diversion Specialist, which is sack another creature, enchantment, exile the top card of your library, and play it this turn. It doesn't exactly go great with what we currently have. We could also take a Moldering Gym. This just kind of fixes for you, and then also Manifest Dread later in the game. We have Dagger Maw Megalodon. Overall, just kind of a weak pack, honestly. Deciding between the Island Cycler and the most powerful card in the set. I think we're just going to take the strongest card in the pack. We don't actually know if we're going to be blue, so we could follow that up with a Glassworks. Just follow up our red card with a Glassworks. Doesn't seem terrible. Beastie Beatdown goes well in a green-red deck, but we haven't had a reason to draft any green cards. Also, Underwater Tunnel is a good way to trigger Eerie. It surveils 2 and then later Manifest Dread. But I'm going to take this Glassworks and continue down that path. We have an Erbella, so we could cut this Fear of Isolation and go with Erbella. It attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. Works well with our Enduring Innocence. Works well with our Optimistic Scavenger. Yeah, let's take the Arabella. We also have this Impossible Furno, which is 5 mana, deal 6 damage to something. But I'm going to take the Arabella. Then we have a 2-drop enchantment creature here in Fear of Surveillance. That one's not bad to take, and it fits into a lot of different decks. Now, on the wheel, we did get our Friendly Ghost, and it does work with our red-white strategy is mostly red-white 2-power creatures. And Friendly Ghost works really well with that versus anything else in the pack. We'll take the Friendly Ghost. And then we have Ticket Booth, which is 3 mana, Manifest Dread. Or whenever you attack, 6 mana, whenever you attack, the creature gains double strike. I think this card is generally not very good. And the second Friendly Ghost is fine. We don't want too many more than that. We have a Ragged Playmate or a Vengeful Possession. The Vengeful Possession is a bit stronger. It does work with our Diversion Specialist, but this card is mostly for red-black rather than red-white. Whereas Ragged Playmate kind of fits into the red-white strategy. Yeah, let's take that. Ooh, nice. And we wield the piggy bank. Okay, so red feels pretty open, and we even got a land to go with our a red-white land to go with our initial pick. So this feels pretty decent to start off with. And yeah, I think we're just going to get the Irreverent Gremlin here. Another 2-drop that cares about power 2 or less mattering. So yeah, I think we're going to take this Gremlin here, as there's no really good white card in the pack. There's this Bottomless Pool, which is very good and works well with our Optimistic Scavenger, but we're a really long ways away from being blue. So I'm going to take the Gremlin here. Ooh, and then we get a Zimone, which is pretty powerful. Like one of the best rares in the set, but it's really far off of what our colors are trying to do. In terms of what we can take a Lionheart Glimmer. This is an enchantment creature that buffs your board if you go wide. The red-white, one of the red-white uncommon, like gold cards does let you get a little bit wide. We also have Living Phone, which when it dies, it like turns itself into another card most likely in your hand, which isn't terrible. Not a whole lot in this pack. I'm thinking of taking the Lionheart Glimmer, as it does work as a top ender in these types of decks. So yeah, let's take the Lionheart. Next pack, we have not a whole lot going on in this pack. This pack's actually pretty atrocious, which is a little surprising. Obviously, play boosters, you know, cards can be opened at random volumes, so we could just be getting screwed by the packs a little bit, but it felt like we were in the open seat in pack 1. We found the open colors. In terms of what we want to take in this pack, there's not a whole lot. We could take Intruding Soul Rager and kind of speculate on some blue cards. Maybe move into a Jeskai deck. Cult Healer's not great. How many rooms do we have? Right now we have 1 room, so this doesn't even work that well. It is pretty powerful, so I'm just going to take it. It does work in the room decks. And then we have a Split Skin Doll. This card's great. This card works really well in our deck. If you have, when it enters, you'll loot a card. You'll loot unless you have a creature with power, another creature with power 2 or less. Then, in case you just draw a card, yeah, Split Skin Doll is great in our deck. Maybe we can wheel the red-white land. And then I'm looking at Exorcism, but there's also a Piggy Bank. Piggy Bank is just such a ridiculous card. Like a 3/2 for 2 mana. It trades up, it attacks well, and then when it dies, it turns itself into a treasure. Yeah, Piggy Bank's just great. On to another pack. Now we have a Double Striker for 3 mana, 2/1 Double Strike. Entering as a 2/1 kind of works well with our Enduring Innocence and stuff. We also have Tunnel Surveyor. This pack had a lot of good blue cards, apparently. Because Tunnel Surveyor is great, but we're going to take Patched Plaything. And then Unsettling Twins is a good card. It manifests Dread. It makes 2 creatures. Yeah, this card's pretty good. It kind of, once again, all of our cards really work with this 2 power or less matters theme. I do wish that we had a little bit more ways to... We're going to put this over here for now. I'm not sure we want to actually play that. We have Undead Spinner, which is a rare. Trample Haste, you can cast Undead from your graveyard if a non-zombie creature dies turn and then it enters with a counter on it. Okay, we'll take that. We could possibly splash for it. I don't think we're ever playing this Rager. Possessed Goat, not great. Let's just take the uncommon. And then we have a Terramorphic Expanse, maybe to splash. Followed up by Vicious Clown, which, I don't know, Vicious Clown is okay. It's not a great card. It works well in our deck, so it's very possible we end up playing it. But, yeah, a 2/3 that gains power if you play little creatures. We have Violent Urge here now. We have a little bit of a combat trick. That's definitely what our deck wants / needs. Let's just take another Vicious Clown. Maybe we end up having to play it. Hopefully not. But yeah, overall, first 2 packs, feeling pretty good about where we are. We opened Valgavas Onslaught, an absurd rare. This is essentially, so you manifest Dread for each time, for X amount of times, and then you put X11 counters on it. So for 5 mana, you get 2 4/4s, and for 7 manas, you get 3 5/5s. Just an insane card. We have another Arbella here for our deck, though, which is obviously just what we're going to take. It is a legend, so it does get worse in multiples, but it's also just really good. Really good card in our deck. So, yeah, we'll take the Arbella. Now we have a black-red land we could take, or we could take Mayhem Midnight, and we should at least take the Mayhem Midnight to try it. I've heard this card, mixed reviews on this card. Not sure if it's great, not sure if it's terrible. We're definitely going to take it and try it out in our deck. And we're going to have to kind of figure out our 4-drop slot. It's getting a little clunky now. Overall, just a good 3-drop here in Glimmer Seeker. We also have Jump Scare, which is okay. Maybe we can pick it up on the wheel. But I think we have some pretty good creatures and some decent interaction. Nothing insane in terms of interaction, but we don't want a ton of interactive pieces. We mostly want to be playing to the board in this deck. Let's cut this Ragged Playmate. Maybe we're playing the Undead Sprinter, maybe we're not. We have a Pyroclasm, which is like kind of interesting, but not super great. Obviously, it's going to kill a lot of our creatures, which would be a problem. We have a Tunnel Surveyor, a Ragged Playmate. Yeah, nothing great in this pack. Yeah, let's just take the Playmate. I don't think we need the Pyroclasm. Maybe in a pod draft, we would take the Pyroclasm just to keep our opponents from playing it. And now we have Betrayer's Bargain, which is an interaction piece, which our deck doesn't have a ton of. We have a Combat Trick, we have Glassworks, and we have Seize. So we have a decent number. And then the other pick here is Grand Entry, which Grand Entry is just a great card. And I think we're going to take the Grand Entry over it. It works well with our Optimistic Scavenger, and it's just overall a great card. Now we have Raisinkin Horde Hauler or Scorching Dragonfire. We're just going to take the Dragonfire. Our top end's already looking very strong, and yeah, we just want to be able to get on the board a little bit sooner and kill them quickly. Yeah, next up we have Orphans of the Wheat or Acrobatic Cheerleader. Orphans works well with Delirium. I think it will work well, though, in a go-wide kind of shell, so I kind of want to try it in our deck. Let's just take the Land Cycler, maybe play it, maybe not. Third Friendly Ghost, we're probably not going to play it, but, you know, might as well just take it in case. Ooh, another 2-drop. This one Surveils one, great. And this Surveils one, and it's an enchantment, plus we have Jump Scare. Yeah, okay. Okay. I like where our deck is at. Taking random cards at the end here. And yeah, okay. I think, we're waiting on one more card. But yeah, this is what our deck's going to somewhat look like. And yeah, we'll figure out the mana and stuff and go from there. Okay, we're right back. I ended up cutting the Violent Urge and the Unsettling Twins. The Twins works really well with our Enduring Innocence, but our 4-drops are so good that I think we just want to play all of these instead. I'm not sure on Midnight Mayhem. I have no idea how good this card is, to be honest. I just want to test it out, and it seems to work pretty well with Arabella. So Yeah, I'm going to give this a go. In terms of interaction, we don't have a ton, but again, we are an aggro deck, so we're not looking for a ton of interaction. We're looking to kill our opponents as quickly as possible with our impressive 2-drop slot. So we have Glassworks, Scorching Dragonfire, and Jump Scare as our interaction. And then in terms of card advantage, we have Enduring Innocence plus Diversion Specialist. And yeah, I think this deck looks pretty solid. Let's hop into the games and see how they go. Okay, hopping in against M. Caney, we have Orphans of the Wheat, Arabella, into Friendly Ghost, and a Seize the Slumber. Yeah, all right, we can keep this hand. Let's go with a Mountain and pass, and then next turn, we probably just want to set up the Arabella attacks. Yeah, we definitely want to play Arabella here now, because if they kill the first one, we don't care that much because we have the second one. Okay, cool. And they look like green red delirium of some kind. That seems not terrible. Let's go Orphans of the Wheat. That seems decent for us because Arabella's going to do a decent job of racing them because we're going to be able to gain some life each turn. However, it probably does mean this Arabella is a little bit weaker in our hand. Next turn, we're going to be able to go Mountain Friendly Ghost. Attack for a bunch of damage, maybe. Well, Arabella will trigger for 3 next turn. All right, they're going to declare attacks. We're going to say no blocks. And they have another Wildfire Wicker. Okay, yeah, so this seems perfect to me. All right, let's go land into Friendly Ghost. Trigger on Arabella. Attack with these two. And then let's see. We deal the 2. Oh yeah, because this was pumped, so it didn't trigger. Okay, that makes sense. And then we have an Orphan of the Wheat. I don't think we want to turn this one sideways. We already trade with the Wicker Folk if they want to do that. And then we can block with the Friendly Ghost pretty well. Yep, so our opponent takes a block and then drains. Okay, our opponent casts Manifest Dread. They make a 2/2. They already turned on Delirium already. Yeah, sorcery land, artifact creature. I think Manifest Dread is going to be really important in the Delirium decks because it makes a creature and also puts a sorcery in your graveyard. Plus, Manifest Dread will put a card in your graveyard. We'll say no blocks. Manifest Dread will also put a card in your graveyard. And then that'll count for 2 cards in your graveyard plus the creature that you put down as well. Okay, our hand's starting to die out a little bit here. Not great. We can attack with both, do the drain, and then if they block Arabellum and flip, we can kill it. Or we can let them kill the Arabellum and be fine. Arabella doing a great job of making it very hard for our opponent to okay, put them on 8, say go. And our opponent Mountain cycles. Okay, I was worried if they had 2 mana, maybe they would flip this. And then if this thing had 3 power, it would be able to kill my Arabella. We had a removal spell in that case. And now we just have a removal spell to kill anything they play this turn. They're going to have to start thinking about leaving their 4/3 back to block. Nope, they're just going to swing out. Okay, we'll say no blocks. We go to 10, but that's okay because our Arabella keeps gaining us life. Okay, and then they play a 5/4. This is actually pretty good for them because the 5/4 is a little annoying to kill because it's going to turn into a new creature. I think we're just going to kill it anyway. Let's just use our mana this turn, blow it up. They're going to Manifest Dread. We can put them to 4 this turn. They mill over a creature. Yeah, we can attack, put them to 4. Question becomes if they want to block with this 2/2 now. Yeah, they're going to block with the 2/2, obviously. They go to 4. We're going to play a land. We're going to play our specialist. And pass the turn. Now our opponents kind of have to do something. Because they're dead next turn to Arabella plus Ghost. So they have to make a flying blocker. And in Naya, it's going to be a little bit difficult. We're getting attacked just for 2 here. All right, we're obviously going to say no blocks. They flip into a big creature. It's not the end of the world. They'd have to flip into a big creature and then pump it a whole bunch. That's not going to be particularly easy for them and use all of their mana. The worst case scenario is if this is some kind of lifelinker. This Arabella kind of died in our hand because our first one just ended up staying on the battlefield forever. We are playing 17 lands in this Boros deck. I'm not sure if that's 100% correct. If we end up finding ourselves drawing too many lands throughout the game, I may end up cutting a land at some point. Yes, say no blocks. We want to be able to attack with our diversion specialist. All right, we go to my turn. Ooh. Okay, well, Midnight Mayhem's just great because now Arabellum does a ton of damage. Yeah. All right, we're going to Midnight Mayhem. Great draw off the top of our deck for sure. These are going to make 1/1s that have Menace, Lifelink, and Haste until end of turn. They say good game. And scoop it up. Nice. Okay, got there in game 1. Arabella, very good card. Okay, hopping back in it. We're against Jonah Ball here, and we just kind of have to mulligan this hand. 3 mountains and a bunch of white spells. Yeah, the hand seems not very good. This hand, however, does seem very good. I think we're just putting the Glimmer back. We could put one of the lands back. Yeah, let's keep. And then let's try and put a land back and see what happens. I think putting a land back could give us the highest upside in terms of like what our creatures are able to do. What our curve could look like if we end up drawing some lands. And we did draw a land, so that's huge. Now we have to decide if we want... Let's just get the Sphere of Surveillance. Arabella, obviously a better attacker for what our strategy wants to do. But Fear of Surveillance is just good in terms of helping us curve out and stuff. Midnight Mayhem, yeah, we'll keep that on top. They block and we play Arabella. That's okay. We're playing the Mirror, which is going to be interesting for sure. They play Acrobatic Cheerleader. Okay, nice. And then I think we're just going to go land Midnight Mayhem here. And then attack with everything. Do 4 damage and then do a bit more. Seems pretty good. These 2 cards work really well. It seems like the... design team for this set have done an absolute amazing job in terms of just making the okay, we didn't draw a second white source unfortunately for our Lionheart Glimmer. Yeah, it seems like the design team has done a great job of putting the multicolor uncommons. They work really well together. So now we have a choice. We Friendly Ghost. I think we're going to want to Friendly Ghost pump our Arabella because then she can't die in combat to this. And she can do 4 more damage. And yeah, all right, cool. Now we're going to do 4 more damage, attack with the Arabella, put them on 6 already. Like, and now if we draw, the worst draw in our deck right now is a mountain for sure. Man, Arabella is just such a crazy card on curve. Like, she's so powerful. Our surveils didn't end up working out too well, so it is a point that if we had done Arabella to start, yeah, we just say no blocks here. If we had started with Arabella, we would have gotten like an extra point of damage in, I think. Okay, now they play a 4-3. A little bit hard for my... Ooh, not so hard for my Arabella to interact now. Alright, Arabella dies, but with Lionheart, all my creatures are getting +1/+1. All my little 1/1s will trade, except for with Diversion Specialist. They'll kill Arabella for sure. And I'll deal 4 points of damage. Yeah, alright, we're just going to play Lionheart. Trigger, and our opponent scoops it up. We would... Oh, she dealt 6? Oh, because her trigger goes on this... Okay, this is a good... Okay, because her trigger goes on the stack first, all of my creatures are still tiny. And so, like, my friendly ghost is fine. And we're dealing 6 points of damage to her. Wow. Okay, well, that was fast. On to the next one. Facing Cibola here. I'm not really one to play a ton of aggressive decks. However, this deck feels extremely powerful, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Arabella, what a card. Also, it's pretty nice to see her in our opening hand again. Last turn, we played Fear of Surveillance on 2. This time, and we said we missed a point of damage because of it. So maybe this turn, we play Arabella and see what happens. Yeah, let's go Arabella. Our opponent fetched for a white. White-black. So white-black is a little bit of a slower reanimate type of deck. Okay, so now we can get 2 points of damage. And I think we're going to want to play this Terramorphic Expanse because everything in our hand right now is a 2-drop. Yeah, so let's split Skin Doll. Draw a card. Yeah, let's go get our red source. Attack with Arabella, trigger Arabella. Unfortunately, we had to play our creature first to get that extra point of damage rather than, you know, bluff an attack. But if we bluffed an attack and they didn't block, then it's like the same amount of damage. If they don't block. If they block, it's 1 less damage, so it's not ideal. I think my opponent has to think about killing this Arabella. Yes. Baelmerk Leech doesn't drain. I mentioned this in my last video. Not draining here. I just don't think this card's that good when it doesn't drain. They did take our Arabella away. So this is the first time we're going to get to see kind of how our deck functions without Arabella on it. Without Arabella on the battlefield. We do have 2 of them, which is nice. So we could always draw the next one. Let's go Fear of Surveillance into Piggy Bank. Let's just double spell this turn. This is a really meaningless creature in the long run, so I don't think this creature matters in terms of glassworking it. Opponent on 16 life. But we're getting a little bit later into the game, and this creature is a huge problem for my deck. Alright, we're going to say no blocks for sure. A lifelinker that triggers off all the Eries is really good, and it avoids Glassworks damage. Oh, so good. Right now, we can play Lionheart, attack all, and we'll lose our Split Skin Doll. We can attack with Fear Surveillance Piggy Bank only. We could also attack with Fear of Surveillance, hope that they block in Glassworks. I don't have a terror, and then we get a Surveil trigger. I kind of like that idea. And then if they don't block, we'll just play Lionheart second main. Sure, let's do that. Surveil 1. I think we almost just always have to take the 2-drop here. Yeah, let's just keep the 2-drop on top. Okay. We do 2-for-1 ourselves here, obviously. It's not great, but the Dashing Bloodsucker, is it Dazzling Bloodsucker? Dashing Bloodsucker is just such a good card against our deck. Like, the lifelink makes it so hard to race them. It gets really big and hits really hard, like, randomly. Like, yeah, it's just such an annoying beater. Now they're going to plane cycle instead of playing that. That's a little interesting. So they want to hit their land drop this turn. No, they played a land this turn, I think. Okay, murder my piggy bank. I get a treasure out of the deal. They're going to attack. We say no blocks. And then I think we have to play Lionheart rather than unlock our room and play Orphan. Yeah, we're just going to play Orphan and Lionheart, actually. That just seems like the way better play. Next turn, we can unlock our room. If we draw land, if we draw anything better, then obviously that works out well for us. Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad about killing this Dashing Blood sucker. Okay, they reanimate their 4/5, and we do draw the land. All right, we're going to unlock our room. And then how do we get around this? We can't do a whole lot. I think we just have to... Well, so let's see. If we attack with this, it becomes a 3/2. Pump, it becomes a 5. Whenever you attack, right? Yeah, so it'll become a 3/2 on attack. We top them both to double pump. Yeah, sure, okay. Trigger. Tap. Make it a 5/4. Yeah, okay, we got in 5 points of damage. We're going to hold our land in hand because there's no point in playing it, I feel like. It's harder for them to attack with the Shepherding Spirits against us because then they like give up one of their better blockers. Obviously, if they play a really good creature here, we're in kind of trouble. All right, Sporogenic Infection. I'm forced to sack another one of my creatures. And then Eerie Trigger, sure. All right, we're going to sack the Orphan. Obviously, Lionheart Glimmer is just too good. They play a land. And okay, we take 4. It's fine with me. Ooh, and we draw Friendly Ghost. Friendly Ghost, pump my Lionheart Glimmer, attack with everything. Yeah, seems pretty good. Pump Lionheart Glimmer. We can't pump the... There's no point in pumping Splitskin Doll because they're going to block it. And they'll still kill it if we pump Splitskin Doll, so... Splitskin Doll dies, obviously. They're going to take a damage, go to 4. Okay, we're trying to get there. Black-white seems really good. I was able to draft a black-white deck in... Oh, yeah. Well, that card is borderline game losing for us. They're going to attack. Okay, we'll say no blocks. We go to 4. We have to draw something good. We draw a big menace creature. Big menace creature trades with Shroud Stomper. Alright, let's play it. But we can't attack with our ghost because we're dead to Shepherding Spirits. Yeah, I can't attack with my ghost. We'll deal 3 damage. We'll ping him for another 1. Alright, no attacks. Deal 1. Right now we're going to 2, and I'll have Friendly Ghost, Lionheart Glimmer against their 3 if they attack with Shroud Stomper, against their 4 cards if they attack with Shroud Stomper. One thing I think that Boros is missing in this format, and they kind of have it in Lionheart Glimmer here, is like a mass pump effect. Oh. Now are we just dead? No, but we're basically dead. Fear of Surveillance. Valgavost Faithful. Opponent just attacks with the Shepherd. We're forced to block. We can put them to 4. But now we're dead to Shepherd. Alright, good game. Yeah, one of the things I find the Boros deck has a little bit trouble dealing with is closing games out, and I think it's missing that maths pump effect, like rapid response or something like that. So, But I do think this deck is pretty good, and so far we're 2-1. Let's hop into another one and see how it goes. Okay, hopping back in against the Shrike. Let's see what our hand looks like. Ooh, we finally draw Enduring Innocence. This hand looks solid. We have Interaction plus a 2-drop and a 3-drop. And our 3-drop goes straight into Friendly Ghost, which triggers Innocence. Yeah, I like this hand a lot. Let's go tap land. Playing against a lot of red decks today. Interesting. All right, let's go Orphan of the Wheat. They're also on red white. Ooh, and they have the Arabella. Well, we know this card is good. Yeah, this card is almost too good. Let's just Glassworks it. We throw our curve off a little bit here, but I think we just want to kill that. That card's just so good in this matchup. We saw how well it did for us in the first time we played this match, so let's just see if that helped us out. Next turn we can play Enduring Innocence. Even though, again, it's just kind of not mana efficient to play Enduring Innocence next turn. Yeah, but it gets us cards. They have 1 red up, so this is the +1/+0 in first strike. In that case, I don't think we want to attack with our orphans. All right, we'll say go. We got a little stick there when we tried to play our creature. And they didn't have the stick prior to having the Fear of Surveillance, having a creature on board plus the white. Ooh. Well, that's pretty good against us. Fortunately, that gets rid of our what is this? Enduring Innocence. Yeah, I think they have it here. So, obviously, we'll just say no blocks. It makes it a little awkward because our Orphans of the Week can't attack back if we're playing around it. Although we can Friendly Ghost, pump it. Yeah, so we'll say no blocks. I'm like almost certain that's what that is. I don't think it can be anything else. All right. We're going to go Friendly Ghost. Pump our Orphan. Attack for 4. Submit 0 because this is a decent blocker. Even against the first strike is +1/+0. It's like asking them if they want a crew and things like that. Obviously, they don't want to do any of that. This has to attack. Okay, yes. This is not a... What's it called? Survival trigger. They go to combat and attack now with a bunch of extra mana. I think we're just going to say no blocks. No. Let's block. Let's force the trick. Forcing the trick also makes it so their mana's a little bit stranger. Sure, that's fine with me. So it wasn't the first strike, but it was this one instead. Turn inside out. So there's 2 red 1 mana combat tricks. This is the other one. This one seems pretty good though. Ooh, and another good card right there in Survivor. We draw Arabella. So we're going to play Arabella. We're going to play Piggy Bank. And let's see. What can they get back? They can get Split Skin Doll. They can get Arabella back. Those are both pretty good. Let's attack for 4. Trigger our Orphan. Tap, tap. Are they thinking of blocking with the Savior? Interesting. Right now, I think I'm in race mode because if I just hold back and block creatures, it's really bad for me when I don't draw spells and they have more cards available to them already. Right now, we just need to leverage the fact that we're ahead on life and can drain them out with something like Arabella plus our 4 mana make a bunch of 1/1s. Yep, they go to combat. They attack with both. Ooh, they're going to flip. Oh, they flipped Arabella, but they flipped it after it had already attacked. So that's not very great for them. They missed out on the trigger. And now they're going to play Split Skin Doll and draw a card. Nice. That doesn't seem terrible for them. Yeah, if we can draw like the 4 mana, make 3 1/1s, we're in pretty good shape here. Diversion Specialist isn't terrible either. All right, so I think my plan here is just to attack all. We'll deal 2, they'll go to 8. And then they're forced into some blocks. Yep. Trigger. The Orphan of the Wheat doesn't really matter. We go up to 16. Now they have their own Arabella. Block my... Oh, nope. Not blocking the piggy bank. Gonna block the Orphan instead. They take 4. Sacrifice a creature, exile the top. Okay. We're going to play Specialist here. Pass the turn. We might need to sack our enchantment to find an extra card. Until exile the top card. You may play it this turn. Okay, so we can't sack it on their turn. Notably. Tap down my Specialist. They just attack with this? Interesting. If we played this turn, we might have won the game. Although, they probably then just attack with the Arabella, but still, we could win. Sure. They're going to bring back Split Skin Doll, draw another card, yeah. Sure, that resolves. All right, go to my turn. We draw Fear of Surveillance. Okay, that's another Arabella trigger. We have to pay 1 mana to activate that effect. So, Fear of Surveillance. Attack with both. We put them on 2. Then we put them to 1. Yeah, okay. So let's go combat. We're going to lose our piggy bank here. But that's okay. We need our piggy bank's treasure token. So it's possible they block with just Arabella here, but I think that would be a mistake. Yep, they're going to kill our Arabella. And then we want all 5 mana. Notably, we kill the Split Skin, so this Arabella does 1 less damage. And then we're going to activate our room. Ping them to 1. And pass the turn. Right now we're taking 7, 8, and then 1 more for 9. So we're going to go to 6. They play Split Skin Doll. Oh, Split Skin Doll's very good. They can't attack all necessarily just because of the Diversion Specialist. The 4 mana make 3 1/1s would be pretty good here. Not a whole lot else in our deck would be great. They're going to play Ooh. Now it's going to be hard to get there. Crew the ship. Attack all, sure. Ooh, okay, we took a bunch of damage. We're at 10. This is 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have to block with our fear. 4 plus 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, all right. So we'll block like this. They did. Yeah, there's an aggressive attack here. They have 2 blockers for my specialist. Ooh, okay, Norn can't block though. I have to find a way to win this turn. That's not going to be a way to do it. We're definitely dealing 2 damage. I think we have to Diversion Specialist sack this and try and find the 1/1 lifelinkers. Scorching Dragonfire won't do it. Jump Scare would do it. Okay, yeah, let's pay 1. Sack our room. And see if we can hit the Jump Scare. We don't hit Jump Scare. We hit a Piggy Bank. Will Jump Scare will kill them. Alright, let's play. Yeah, alright. Red. Let's play Piggy Bank. Pay 1. Sack Fear. Exile a card. Jump Scare. Nope, that's a land. Alright. Well, we'll go again. Sack the Piggy Bank. Now it's like Jump Scare or bust. We drew the Jump Scare. Pump. I don't think our opponent has a way to beat this. 6-5 in the air. 6-5 in the air. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Whew. Should have left your flying blocker back. Let's go. Holy. Okay, well. We had 1 out and we drew it. Let's go on to the next. All right, hopping in against Lil Beezy. Our last game was very wild and we drew a 5-lander. 5-lander in an aggro deck, not ideal. But if we draw spells, we're fine. And we have a 2-drop into a 3-drop. So I'm going to try it. This might be a mistake. With the hello. Okay, good draw. We just want to basically never draw another land. Orphans of the Wheat. Another white deck. Jesus. Playing against all the white decks. Unfortunately, our Terramorphic Expanse is a little awkward, which we'd love to play it. Maybe we were supposed to play it turn 1. Getaway entry. Okay, they're going to make a 1/1. That's okay. We're going to play... Yeah, we're going to play Patched Everything here. Attack with our creature. Tap the 2/1. Get in for 3. Next turn, we have Diversion Specialist or Friendly Ghost. Friendly Ghost pump our patched playthings pretty good. It's like 8 damage with Double Strike. Ragged Playmate, we're going to take 1. Drew Fear. Okay, we're going to play the land. We could also Friendly Ghost our Orphans of the Wheat because that's just better attacks. Yeah, let's just do that. It feels kind of bad not being able to patch this pump this plaything. But the plaything already has a good attack, so... And 4 damage is 4 damage. I will tap this for the extra point of damage. Let's just threaten them with 9 damage on turn 4. Wow, they're going to take it? Okay. Seems good to me. Next turn, I think we Terramorphic Expanse, play our Diversion Specialist. It's just the most mana efficient way to, or most mana efficient thing our deck can do. Orphans of the Wheat, a little bit of an awkward attacker against the 1/1 Glimmer. But if we play Diversion Specialist, we can attack Orphans, so it's not the worst. MVS, this card's great. We would love one of these in our decks. It is their whole turn. Oh. What are they? How are they attacking here? Let's see. Ragged Playmate, get in there for 3. Ooh. Holy. Interesting. So, we could play Diversion Specialist, but Diversion Specialist makes it so that when we attack all, and we can tap this with Orphans. It'll be a 3/2, but that means MVS has a pretty easy block, and then they can just chump with the 1/1 or something. However, if we play both of our 2-drops, then this becomes a 4/3 when it attacks by tapping these two. And then they're really forced into some bad chump blocks. So I think I like the plan of playing our 2-drops way more. Also, then they were like forced to deal with Arabella or they die the following turn. Yeah. So let's go Fear of Surveillance, Arabella, Combat, attack, attack, attack. Trigger, tap both of these guys down, and now we're attacking for, these two alone are attacking for lethal, so they're forced to block one of these, and then they'll trade with Patched Everything, but we'll take out their MVS. I mean, I like that a lot. MVS is a really scary card. They're on 6 now, and then Arabella plus Friendly Ghost right now is lethal, assuming they don't kill any of my creatures. Yeah, Boros looking pretty good. The first time I played Boros, it wasn't very impressive, but this card's a house. There's a reason I think this is legendary, because this card's crazy. Also, being on the play versus being on the draw in this matchup helps a ton. Painter Studio, that, my friend, is not great in this matchup. Okay, they should have played this land. I have no idea why. Wait, maybe not. Exile the top 2. You may play. Yeah, they should have played this land for sure. Opponent says good game, and we got it. All right, let's hop into the next one. All right, next team up against Blanket here. Already at 4 wins. 4 wins is like the spot I'm really happy with. In terms of just like how I want to see my deck do. And you're down 100 gems if you only get 4 wins, but you get all those cards and you get the extra packs and stuff. So 4 wins is a pretty good spot to be. Let's see if we can hit the 5th one though. We definitely want to play Scavenger here and say go. We haven't drawn the Scavenger yet. I'm not actually sure this card's very good in my deck. They're a slower black deck, it looks like. All right, now we're going to play the land. We're going to play the Orphans. Get in for 1. Next turn, we can play the 2/1 Double Striker. Black-white again. Oh, black-white, crack your footage. Maybe they're a multicolored deck, and they use the footage to, like, find some different colors and things like that. Yeah, all right, so we're going to play our land. We're going to pay our Patched Plaything. Gonna attack each, trigger, tap down my Patched Plaything, hit for 4. Orphans has really impressed me overall as a card. It's just a 2/1 that hits way harder. Okay. Well, I think we just lost the game on the spot. Did not play around. I did not play around split up at all. We will Scorching Dragonfire this Victor. However, we're the Boros deck that got board wiped. I do not think we're in good shape. That is for sure. Unlucky there. And we drew another land. That is 7 lands. Yikes. 7 lands for our Boros deck. That is not doing it. Killer Mask. I haven't seen this card get played. It enters a Manifest Dread, and it becomes a 2/2 Menace. So 3 mana, 2/2 Menace. Seems okay. Well, we'll just... I guess we aren't going to Glassworks. I guess we'll Shattered Yard. Let's just use all the mana. They're going to flip their creature. Okay. Ends up being Baelmerk Leech. Not one of my favorite cards in the set. Certainly a little underpowered in the Eerie deck. Actually, giving us that information makes it kind of hard to play activate this. Let's play Specialist. Our opponent did absolutely nothing, which is a bit of a red flag. Probably just going to kill my creature. And then the question becomes, okay, they are going to know where to run it. Now the question becomes, do we activate this? Do we try and draw an extra card? We can't draw an extra card. This plays only until this turn. So, yeah, we can't do that, unfortunately. They're going to trigger Eerie, deal damage to me. I just don't think Glassworking's a Baelmerk Leech is very good. So, I'd rather see them play a more high-value creature. That's not it. We would like to draw something big. Seize from Slumbers. Okay. Okay, now because I drew Seize, I'm okay with killing the Baelmerk Leech. I have another removal spell in hand. Let's kill the Leech. Let's just have them hitting us for 1 while we're hitting them for 1. And we just do not want to draw more lands. We want to draw creatures. What's the best draw in our deck right now? Enduring Innocence is okay just to... Sure. We're definitely not going to kill that. We're going to turn a 1/1 into a 2/2 for them. That seems a little good on my part. Too good for them. Piggy Bank's not a bad draw. Play a decent 3/2. Our opponent's probably holding like removal spells, which would not be very good for me. Not holding removal spells or not casting them on that thing. Shroud Stomper's fine. We're absolutely killing Shroud Stomper, though. So that card is a house. They can attack me for 1. Yep. Attacking me for 1 is fine, because now I get to attack them for 3, maybe? They take it. We're going to play another Piggy Bank. We're going to hit them to 9. Not winning the race exactly, but not terrible now. Now we do have more power on the board than them when they activate this. They should definitely have attacked first, just to see if I would have blocked. I don't think I'm ever blocking there, though. Ooh, we draw Arbella. Okay, what's the worst case scenario here? They flash in the 3/2 that surveils 1, but even then, it's not the worst thing. Because Arabella can block the 4/4. Yeah, we're going to attack. Did we play through a split up? Arabella, not great when we have a bunch of 3/2s on the board. They're just going to play Murder, kill the Arabella. Okay. Like, not opposed to that. So right now they don't have lethal. They're a point shy of oh, never mind, I lied. They have lethal. And they do have the jump scare. Okay, unlucky. I mean, jump scare doesn't matter that much. Maybe I'm supposed to hold back a blocker, but I think I'm just racing them there every time. Like, we got board wiped. Does the math change there if I block? Let's give them 5 life. Attack. Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to kill them. Like, they're playing black-white. I'm not sure why they're playing a combat trick in black-white, but it definitely got us. So let's hop in. We're 4-2. Let's see if we can rattle off 1 or 2 more wins. Up against Verminion 66. Yeah, not expecting the combat trick in the black-white deck last game. I'm not sure it mattered, but it might have. Might have been able to beat it, but I don't think so. We have a tap land here. We are on the draw, which is a little unlucky. They're going to play a 3/3, which is pretty good against us. Okay, now let's see. How are we playing out our hand? Definitely probably want to play Midnight Mayhem on 4. I think we want to piggy bank this turn. One thing we can do is play Glimmer Seeker, and then the turn we want to attack with it, we can play Grand Entryway and get our 1/1, which is good. They have a Grand Entryway. That's pretty good. They're going to trigger their Eerie on this Stalker. And then they're going to unable to scream my piggy bank. Do I want to block, get my treasure, and play untap, play Midnight Mayhem versus playing a Glimmer Seeker? I don't think so. We're going to play Glimmer Seeker now. No attacks, they go. Next turn, we can follow it up with either Midnight Mayhem or Grand Entryway. Although Grand Entrywaying on the following turn seems really good. They can obviously put 3 mana in to pump both their creatures. Unsettling Twins. Okay, this thing can't attack this turn now. And we draw Jump Scare. Okay. Now we only have 1 white source. So if we Jump Scare here, we have a second. Okay, never mind. I'm lying. We have a second white source currently in our hand. So one thing we can do is we can Grand Entryway, attack, see if they block, and then try and draw a card off the survival. Yeah, let's try this. So we're going to make the Glimmer. This has survival. If I own a Glimmer, I draw a card. If I don't have a Glimmer, she makes a Glimmer. So then attack with my Glimmer Seeker. If they only block this, then I can Jump Scare and draw a card. But they are going to double block. That's fine. We Jump Scare, kill them both. Jump Scare, kill both of them. And then pass the turn. Then we have Midnight Mayhem. And then the following turn, we could Elegant Rotund the Midnight Mayhem tokens. Seems not terrible to me. They're going to Island Cycle a Megalodon, sure. Now, if we make a treasure and we play a land, we can play both of these spells. So I think blocking here is fine. Oh, never mind, because it's... Oh, okay, never mind. It won't trigger the effect. Okay, my bad. I still want to Mayhem. Mayhem here. Attack for 4, gain some life. Say go. For some reason, I thought it would make the token, even with the enchantment on it. That was my bad. We're going to take 5 back, possibly. But then we go Fear of Surveillance, pump 2 of my creatures. Probably including the Fear. I think the aggro decks are going to be pretty good in this format. I think that Grand Entryway is a great aggressive card. Some of the aggressive, like, on the aggressive gold uncommons are pretty good. The 2/2 in blue-white. Oh, okay, they're going to eat one of my tokens. Oh, they're going to eat my room. I feel like that's kind of dangerous. Now, like, if this thing dies, I get both halves of my room. I'm just going to poke for 1. Say go. Now how does this 3/2 like do anything? Oh, this thing's gonna make a 2/2 manifest creature that flies. How do you like get in with this creature now? Maybe this was a 16 land deck now that I'm looking at the games that we've played out. Yeah, now my opponent's just like really awkwardly like not able to attack. Sure, no blocks, go to 9. I think I want my Surveil. Oh! Oh, I'm so screwed. Okay, well, if this was anything else, this game might have been fine. But Abhorrent Oculus is an absurd rare to hit off of your Manifest Dread. We've had some wild games. Okay. Yeah, so this is a flying 5/5 with, at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, Manifest Dread. But it has the drawback, and it's 3 mana. But it has the drawback to cast it of exiling 6 cards from your graveyard. But they hit it off of a Manifest Dread, so they don't have to pay for any of that cost. We have Scorching Dragonfire. Let's go to combat, attack with Fear, and hope that they block with the Dragonfire. Or hope that they block with the Oculus. They're not gonna. Of course not. Why would they? Okay. I'm 2 turns away from being dead to this Oculus. We're going to play a land, pass the turn. We have Scorching Dragonfire for their 3/2. That gets us the room back. They go to combat. Probably just attack with that, right? No? Triple block, take my 5. Go to 4. Cult Healers, sure. It's possible I was supposed to Dragonfire this on my last turn so that I could pay for some of the effects. But I'm gonna pay, boom. We need a way to kill this. We have the 2 mana removal spell. The 2 mana, the 5 mana kill a creature. If it's tapped, it's 2 mana. So our specialist hit once. Can it hit again? Oh, can we even sack this token? No, we can't sack our token. I'll die to these 2. No, we won't die to those 2 necessarily. We need the removal spell 1 time. Diversion Specialist did it for us once before. Optimistic Scavenger is not the card we wanted to hit. So we are indeed dead to Abhorrent Oculus. Let's just play the Scavenger. Pass the turn. What a hit off your Manifest Dread. Like, wow. What a good card to hit off Manifest Dread. That's crazy. And having the mana to pay for it. Ooh, and Fear Falling. Okay, we were in trouble no matter what this game, but overall, finishing 4-3, not a terrible record. Block. Let's see, were we close to hitting the removal spell? We were not. Okay. Good game to my opponent. That was a sick Manifest Dread off of the Cursed Windbreaker. I don't think too many people like this card. I don't know, a 3 mana flying 2/2 that could become something better doesn't seem awful. Obviously, Equip 3 is pretty late game, but in a stalled board state, getting a flyer isn't the worst thing ever. I don't know. This card doesn't read great to me, but it doesn't read terribly to me.